Alright guys, welcome to a new week. So I just want to touch bases with you, get you guys set up for Unit 2, which is the personal narrative. We'll be bringing Unit 1, the introduction unit, to a close this week. So our agenda for the next few minutes is going to be just to review Chapter 1. You guys have put in good work on the reading responses. Prayerfully, you have gotten the content and the wisdom out of that chapter, and I want you to take it with you as you move throughout not only the course of our time together for the semester, but through your entire academic journey. All right? And then we're going to talk specifically about the personal narrative, just getting you guys set up for that. Okay. Alright, here we go. So for Chapter 1, the reading response, I just want you to think about the benefits and the takeaways when it comes to this particular assignment. The thing that I love about the reading response is that it gives you a chance to really explore your thinking. It's based on a premise called metacognition, and that is where you reflect on your thinking. As opposed to you just consuming a lecture or just reading what's in a textbook and then regurgitating it back out, you're actually interacting with the text and the ideas that are on the page in a very reflective way. So that's why I really push for you guys to have a personal response to the ideas as opposed to just trying to memorize it. It helps you to not just memorize it, but also make it personal so that you can easily bring it back up and use it when it's time to actually use the information and the ideas. So there may be 18 or 19 of you in this class, and even if you chose the same 3 big ideas, your reflection, why it stood out to you, how you're going to use it, how did it expand your thinking or your understanding, that's going to be completely different. And I think it's a very dynamic assignment. So we will have a reading response for all of our chapters. We have one coming up for our personal narrative chapter, which is Chapter 3. So one of the ideas that Bruce Bellinger talks about is on page 9, and that's the idea of writing badly. I want you to really latch hold to this idea, because this is what's going to take the scrutiny off of your writing. It's going to allow you to really work the process of writing and not to over scrutinize and fall into writer's block or anything like that. So that's why we have the sketch essay. The sketch essay is your first draft, but it is going to be one where you are trying out some ideas, where you're trying to make meaning of your thoughts and your opinions. On page 55 of the textbook, The Curious Writer, Bruce Bellinger actually expounds on this idea of writing badly. And so on 55, this is toward the end of the essay. The full essay you can find on page 53. This is what he writes. The greatest reward in allowing students to write badly is that they learn that language can lead them to meaning, that words can be a means for finding out what they didn't know they knew. It usually happens when the words rush to the page, however awkwardly. I don't mean to excuse bad grammar, but I cringe at conservative educational reformers who believe writing instruction should return to primarily teaching how to punctuate a sentence and use Roget's thesaurus. If policing student papers for mistakes means alienating young writers from the language we expect them to master, then the exercise is self-defeating. It is more important to allow students to first experience how language can be a vehicle for discovering how they see the world and what matters in this journey, at least initially. It's not what kind of car you're driving, but where you end up. And that really is our philosophy. That's the philosophy for this class. I like to think that you guys are not going to learn about punctuation and grammar. You already know that type of stuff. But what we present here in our course is a different approach. And writing badly and working the process of writing is at the very heart of that. So again, take that knowledge and understanding with you, because you're going to need it in all of our units and chapters. So going forward, this is the learning objectives for Chapter 3, the personal narrative. You can absolutely find this at the very beginning of the chapter for Chapter 3. So make sure you go over these. One of the top ones, we're going to be using personal experiences and observations to drive inquiry. Applying the exploratory thinking of personal essays to academic writing. So I'll let you read the rest of this because it's all important. We're going to do it all as we move through this unit. What I want you to really pay attention to as you are looking for a possible personal narrative topic are these two questions. What does it mean to me? Because you're going to be writing about an experience or an event that means something to you. Because if it means something to you, it will mean something to your audience. And we're not just going to be recounting what happened, almost like a summary. We're also going to be reflecting deeply and exploring our thinking when it comes to this event or experience. So what do I understand about this now that I didn't understand then, right? So you're going to be doing a lot of reflection. When it comes to personal narrative, the subject matter can be an ordinary event. It could be an event or an experience from the past or the present. It's you really truly making sense of the world around you. You're going to combine the creative, the narrative aspects of storytelling. So we want to be able to see color and feel the temperature of the day. We want to be able to smell, what was going on. We really want to see it. And then combining that with the exposition, this is the critical. That's the reflection. Let us know what you were thinking. Ponder, explore what happened, why it happened, and any consequences. So it is a marrying of the two, the creative and the critical. There should be a purpose behind the story. It should speak to someone else. That's that connection to the audience. It should be well, so what? Why would I care about it, right? You are writing for an audience. And so that connection with your audience is going to come via reflection and insight. And of course, having those rich details so that they can understand what you mean as opposed to you just explaining it to them. You don't necessarily have to worry about, having a thesis that comes at the very beginning of the essay in the first paragraph. The thesis can come near the end or at the beginning. You're in charge. Your personal narrative doesn't necessarily have to be chronological. You can jump around in time. And it really does depend on your memory and your observation. So falling into your memory and reflecting on it and re-seeing it and re-experiencing this event or experience all over again. And then observing, what was happening, what was going on, and why. All right. So here's your home practice. You guys are going to get an announcement for that. When this video is available to you guys Monday morning, you will still need to have completed the Chapter 1 reading response. That's going to be due ultimately September 2nd. And then your responses to your classmates, that's September 4th. After that, you'll be smack dab in the middle of Chapter 3. You guys have another reading response for Chapter 3. Those pages are listed in this week's folder. And then you're going to have to respond to some classmates on September 13th. So all of that information, all of those assignments, they are in the this week's folder, which is a combo week. So it'll be week 2 and 3, all combined into one. So you'll be able to find that. All right. If there are any questions, drop me an email, and I'll talk to you guys later.